Hey, what is up, mortals? It is VA here, and welcome to part 5 of What If Deku Was a Power Ranger. Just wanted to greet you guys by just saying, sit back and relax. You're in for a treat. And now, we begin. The Class 1A students wore faces of shock and confusion at the sight of the sleep-deprived man in the sleeping bag. At first, they thought he was a caterpillar. Half the students couldn't believe that Aizawa was a hero, while the other half wondered how this guy could be a teacher. Nevertheless, Aizawa stood before the class and held up a set of gym uniforms. All of you get changed in one of these uniforms, and meet on the practice field. All the students changed and congregated on the practice field rather quickly, within about 5 to 9 minutes, like the grumpy man said. Today you will all undergo a quirk assessment test. This will give me a better idea of what your abilities are. A girl with short brown hair spoke up.
But sir, what about orientation? We're gonna miss it.
Here at UA, we're not tethered to tradition. That means I can run my class the way I wish. The bleary-eyed man paused to let that sink in. Ashida was very put off by the icy demeanor of their new teacher. The spunky teen leaned toward Midoriya and asked a question. Midoriya, do you think that Aizawa is our new master?
I don't think so. I don't sense any grid energy coming off him, but then again, Ninjor was able to conceal his grid signature. So it's not impossible that Aizawa was our new master. We will have to wait and see.
Aizawa pointed his finger at Midoriya and Ashido. You two, stop talking and pay attention. Aizawa then walked over to the two teens and stared ice daggers at them. The baggy-eyed man then threw a softball to Midoriya. Midoriya, what was your farthest throw with a softball in middle school?
About 70 meters, I think.
Try throwing this ball using your power. Ashido got a big smile across her face.
Oh, cool. It's like a physical exam, but with our powers. This sounds like fun.
The other students agreed with the pink-skinned girl. Fun. If that's your purpose in being here, you can leave now. The point of this test is to make you understand how to use your abilities in the real world. You've taken many tests at this point, but you have never been tested on how you use your powers. The current education system wants everyone to believe we are all equal. That is a very irrational approach in this superhero world. Maybe one day they will change things to allow the most powerful among us to rise. By the way, the person who comes in last place in this test will get expelled. The brunette, whose name was Ochako Uraraka, replied to the long-haired teacher with a voice full of panic.
But sir, we just got here. We all worked so hard to get here. That's not fair.
Fair. Are villain attacks fair? Or natural disasters? This world is full of unfairness. It is the job of a hero to combat that unfairness. The harshness of Aizawa's words hit the students like a tidal wave. The dark-haired man then continued his speech. You have 3 years at this school to become the best heroes you can be. Show me that you belong here. Go beyond. Plus ultra. The students didn't like the idea of being expelled their first day, but all of them knew that the drab man was right. If they couldn't pass a simple test like this one, then they would have no chance against villains that wanted to kill them. The 6 power teens, having been trained from a young age, were all eager to showcase their abilities. The 6 did well in the softball throw. Melissa, Jiro, Ashido, and Kirishima scored 650. Bakugo and Midoriya knocked it out of the park, scoring 750 apiece. The only student that outdid them was Uraraka. She got infinity. The other events went well for Midoriya and the others. The 6 power teens' enhanced physical capabilities and their training allowed them to easily rack up high scores in all events. In fact, the youths got so into the test, several swore they heard powerful guitar riffs happen in sync with their actions. Aizawa and the other students were very impressed with Midoriya and his fellow rangers. The long-haired man had been told to expect great things from the 6 by Principal Nezu and Ninjor, but he decided to reserve his judgment. After seeing the 6's performance, he could see that they did indeed have promise, but the experienced hero could tell that the Rangers still had a lot to learn. Aizawa called for the class to gather around. All right, you should already have some idea of where you rank, but here are the final scores. The tall man pressed a button and a holographic scoreboard appeared in the air. For your reference, the only canon student missing from the list is, Ojiro. Somehow, Mineta beat the tailed boy into Class 1A by 1 point. The color-coded teens all scored in the top 10. Both Midoriya and Bakugo tied for second place. The two boys were beaten out of the top spot by Momo Yaoyorozu. Unfortunately, Mineta came in last place. The bald-haired boy burst into tears at the thought of being expelled. Aizawa stood there with an impassive look on his face. By the way, no one is getting expelled. I used that to get you all on edge so you would perform at your best. Every student except Yaoyorozu was surprised by Aizawa's deception. The tall girl said that she was surprised that no one else figured out it was a rational deception. Before the students could get over their shock, a large figure emerged from the shadows of the gym building. Aizawa turned toward that figure. You're here. I wasn't expecting you until tomorrow, but it does make more rational sense to introduce you now. Class, this is your heroics teacher. My name is Anubis Kruger, but you can call me Sir. A giant of a man stood before them. He was about 8 feet tall and looked like he had enough muscles to flatten a truck. The man had a large dog head with pointy ears and bluish-purple skin. Kruger was well-dressed, in a very nice suit. Midoriya exchanged a look with Bakugo. Both boys knew that this was the new trainer that Ninjor told them about. The two could feel grid energy coming off the dogman. I decided to come here and tell you all that I plan to whip you into shape. Come in tomorrow prepared to work. The dogman walked away after that. This left the class wondering what kind of man Kruger was. Dogface isn't much for words, is he? Kruger turned around and stared daggers at Bakugo. Grr. I heard that, young man. You will call me Mr. Kruger, or Sir, not Dogface. The deep animalistic growl in Kruger's voice was enough to make even Bakugo, with his fiery nature, back down. For that show of disrespect, you get to do 1,000 laps around this field. Move it. Bakugo gritted his teeth, but did what the purple-skinned man asked. After seeing this display, Midoriya knew that Kruger was not new to training people. From his demeanor, Midoriya guessed he had been military. The dragon-powered teen also got the feeling that Kruger was not going to be as forgiving of Bakugo's brash nature as Ninjor had been. As the dogman walked away, Midoriya and the other members of Class 1A wondered what kind of man Anubis Kruger was. This video is sponsored by Soundpeats and their new True Free 2 wireless earbuds to provide the next level of quality and comfort. Ever gone out for a run and have to readjust your earbuds every 5 minutes? How about worrying about getting caught in the rain and ruining your $200 earbuds? Well, those days are behind you. With an ergonomic design created to stay on even through the most rigorous workout or function through a cascade of rain with its IPX7 water resistance, enjoy 20 hours of battery life and seamless switching between earbuds without interruptions and at a fraction of the price of most premium earbuds. Check out the new True Free 2 wireless earbuds in the link in the description below. Also know that using the link below, you won't only get excellent audio experience. You'll be supporting the channel so we can continue to provide the highest quality content possible. Each purchase helps, so if you're on the lookout for a new pair of buds, we've got you covered. The next day, while Class 1A went through their daily routine, a special meeting was taking place between Principal Nezu and Anubis Kruger.
Welcome to the UA teaching staff, Anubis Kruger. Ninjor has told me so much about you.
He has also told me a lot about you and this school of yours.
All good things, I hope.
Ninjor was very impressed with your program. I have to say that I am as well.
Thank you. Now, about the training you have planned for your class. It does seem a little extreme to me.
Some people would say that, but I feel it's necessary.
This has to do with the increase in putty attacks.
Not only that, Principal. The 6 Rangers were also attacked by a commanding monster and a large group of putties the other day.
I heard. It concerns me that my students could be so easily attacked without warning. It is a good thing that I thought to issue those special licenses to the group.
That was good thinking, sir. But I'm also concerned by the battle that took place 5 years ago.
Yes, that day was a terrible one for Japan. And the whole world.
Yes, sir. I wish I could have been there to help.
I don't know if it would have made much of a difference. The 6 wouldn't have made much of a difference either. They were only children coming into their powers, and Ninjor's allies like yourself were unable to enter our dimension yet. But what about that day troubles you so much, Kruger?
Some of the events of that day bear the hallmarks of a certain villain.
You know who is behind the putty incursions?
I cannot be sure, but I do have an educated guess. However, I don't feel it would be helpful to state the villain's name without further confirmation. If it is the evildoer I have in mind, then it will not be long before he exposes himself. This nefarious leader is not known for patience.
A very logical approach. Is that why you plan on driving your students so hard?
This is an elite hero program, is it not, sir?
It is.
Then the students that qualify to get into this program should not be broken by a little hard work.
You do have a point. I'm glad to see you live up to the praise that Ninjor gave you. You have my permission to proceed with your training program. I look forward to seeing great results.
As Kruger left the principal's office, his Morpher chimed. Kruger, how did it go with the principal? It went fine, Ninjor. How are things on your end? It's going better than I expected. Hopefully these countermeasures you suggested will not be needed. I hope you are right, my friend. But I have a feeling that we will not be that lucky. You have a point. If it can go wrong, it will go wrong. That is the Ranger's luck. True enough. But look on the bright side, Kruger. At least this world does not have any ancient doomsday robots buried on it. Let's not kick over that anthill. Kruger closed his Morpher and hung it back on his belt. Class 1A completed the rigorous academic part of their day. Now they had to confront the hero part of their hero academia. Class 1A was gathered in their homeroom. The children were waiting on Kruger to arrive. The door to the classroom slid open and the canine man entered the room. He walked in with his arms crossed behind his body. The man stood behind the front podium. Good afternoon, students. The class responded with a good afternoon, sir. Today you begin your path to become protectors of the world. Your path will not be an easy one. I plan to see to that. If you make it through the 3 years here, you will be the greatest heroes in this country, and possibly the world. The 1A students were too stunned by Kruger's upfront manner to respond. Finally, Midoriya got his wits together and replied,
Sir, we've all come here to become great heroes like All Might. We will endure any harsh training you have for us. It will make us great heroes.
Kruger looked out at the students. None of them said a word. Kruger could see in the teens' eyes that they all agreed with Midoriya's sentiment. Very well put, young man. I hope you don't regret those words. The purple-skinned hound held up a card that had the word battle written on it. Today, we're going to jump into that deep end. This combat exercise will let me see not only how you handle yourself in battle, but also how you work together. Kruger pushed a button on the lectern, and 2 rows of shelves emerged from the wall. On each shelf were numbered briefcases. These are your costumes. Each one has been designed to your specifications. Get changed, and meet at ground beta. The students all grabbed the briefcase with their seat number on it. As the students went to change, Kruger made an announcement. Midoriya, Ashido, Bakugo, Shield, Jiro, and Kirishima. I need to speak with you for a moment. And so, the 6 power teens hung back. As you have probably guessed by now, I will be taking over your Ranger training from now on. I plan to push you harder than Ninjor did. The 6 exchanged curious looks. Finally, Melissa spoke up.
Mr. Kruger, I think that I speak for everyone when I say that we look forward to it.
Is that true? Kruger's piercing gaze met each of the power teens' eyes.
It's like I said at the start of the class, sir. We all want to be heroes. We didn't apply to the best hero course in Japan to take it easy.
That is good to hear. I like having students with a strong work ethic. Just so you know, in addition to your standard school day, you will each be spending an additional hour with me in Ranger training at the end of the day. You will also report on Saturdays for Ranger training. There's a lot to cover, and not a lot of time to do it. What's that supposed to mean, sir? Midoriya was surprised that his spiky-headed friend held his tongue. He probably had no wish to tick Kruger off again. No telling what the dog man would make him do next. Kruger growled in frustration, but did give an answer. Ninjor's training got you 6 to a point where your powers would not kill you. But there are many things that a ranger needs to know that Ninjor could not teach you. I, having been a ranger before, can teach you these skills, and more. With eager faces, the 6 rangers agreed to Kruger's terms. Not that they had a choice. The 6 morphed and joined the other Class 1A students on Field Beta. All of the students entered the field in their costumes. The bubbly brunette came up to Midoriya.
Hey, you're Midoriya, right? Your costume looks so good. I'm Ochako Uraraka, by the way. This is so cool, isn't it?
He was lucky for the socially awkward boy that his dragon-themed helmet covered his face. If Midoriya's face had been exposed, well, it would have been a sheet of ruby red.
It's nice to meet you too, Uraraka. And I really like your costume, too. Oh, that's so nice of you. I probably should have been more specific in my design. The tight fit is not really my style.
To the side of this conversation, Mineta gave a pervy's thumbs up to the tight fit of Uraraka's costume.
Actually, I think the space theme is a good match for your gravity quirk. Plus, it makes you look really cute.
Uraraka blushed a little at the green teen's compliments.
Thank you, Midoriya. That's just a nice thing to say.
Kruger interrupted this show of mutual affection when he spoke. Let's get started, shall we? The dog-headed man whipped out a clipboard. Today, I will be splitting you into pairs. One pair will be the heroes and the other will be the villains. I've already decided on the pairs. Kruger read off the list. The Ranger teens were surprised by Kruger's pairings. None of the Rangers were paired together. Kruger then read off who would be fighting who. The first round paired Midoriya and Uraraka together. They would be facing off against Bakugo and Ida. Team Bakugo and Ida will play the villains, and Team Midoriya and Uraraka will be the heroes. Your goal is to capture the other team with the capture tape I gave you. Kruger also explained that the villains would be protecting a bomb. The heroes could only win if they found the explosive device and captured the villains. Some of the students thought these parameters were unfair. Kruger told his students that heroes will never have a fair fight. If the members of 1A truly wanted to be heroes, then they would have to get used to the deck being stacked against them. With those orders, the other students retreated to the monitor room to watch the action. Meanwhile, the Putty's master sat viewing the unfolding training mission. So, they've brought Kruger into the equation. That should make my triumph over them all the sweeter. Train your students well, Kruger. I will crush all who stand in my way, and their power will make me stronger. But for now, let's see what kind of powers these children have. Thank you all for indulging yourselves in the story thus far. I hope you enjoyed it. Now there are a few more things I'd like to go over before the video ends. Firstly, we've got a second channel called Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive goes deep into the facts and lore of a wide variety of anime. It's sure to expand your weeb knowledge for all kinds of series guaranteed. On top of that, we have a third channel called We the Celestials Naruto What Ifs. It's what we do on this channel already, but in the vast world and lore of Naruto. Go check it out if you're in the mood for some jutsu action. On behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. If you're perhaps interested in what we do here at WTC, then I would like to extend an invitation to join the team. The only caveat being we only accept members 16 and older to join our crew. You can find us on our Discord, which you can locate in the description below. Our Discord is an all-around fantastic place to be, whether you're a fan or looking to join our band of misfits. All you gotta do is hit up the recruitment server and sign up for whichever category of work fulfills your interests. We're always looking for members to join us. That's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching, and have a great day.